will undergo another antigen test. So each game, so if a team is playing 4 games, they will have 1 PCR and 3 antigen tests. So it's very, it's expensive on one side, but we are very concerned about the health, safety of the players and everybody. So we are not worried to invest on that. So we are investing heavily on the health guidelines and the PCR and antigen tests to make sure everybody is safe and make sure this is going without any problem. And then health authorities have already given us some guidelines how to tackle when the COVID is positive or if you get symptoms and all that. So we will strictly follow all these health protocols. So once again, the pre-season is not a competition. Pre-season is a preparatory period for everybody to come and see and learn and train and come up. So with the success, with the learning from this period of about 7 weeks from now, we will sit with the health authorities again. We will sit with the Ministry of Sport, and then we will see how the original season will go forward with these learnings. So by that time, many of you all know we have vaccine has come down. I think by April, I think we will have some improvement in the country and in the world so that sports can come with health guidelines and with new normal. So that's it from me on Super League, which was a very hard work we have gone through for many years, but it has come to reality today. So we will follow the agenda, and then questions and answers will be on the last on the agenda. We can ask any questions later on, but Sharon, we will move with the next one.
Can we give a round of applause to Mr. Jaswar Umar, General Secretary, Football Federation of Sri Lanka. There'll be a short brief in Sinhala and Tamil, which we'll do during the Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, all time's up for us to introduce our teams taking part for this year's Super League 2021. We'd like to start by introducing you to, please put your hands together, Blue Eagles Sports Club. I'm sure we can put our hands together much better. Welcome the captain, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us next, Blue Star Sports Club.
Sharon, give a bit of a time for the camera people to take proper photos.
Your applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Blue Star Sports Club.
Later on, all the captains are only representatives, yeah.
Oh. Colombo Football Club. Everybody, come on, put your hands together. Let's hear it. Colombo Football Club. Joining us next is Defenders Football Club. Gana Pudiyana Hondatama Madi. Joining us next, ladies and gentlemen, is New Youngs Football Club. And the next team to take part is Ratnam Sports Club. And the next team to take part in the Super League is Red Star Football Club. Joining us next, ladies and gentlemen, is Renowned Sports Club. Ten teams, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next, joining us on stage is Renowned Sports Club. Joining the next team is Seahawks Football Club. And the final team, ladies and gentlemen, to take part in the Super League is Upcountry Lions Football Club. Thank you very much to all the captains and the teams. Congratulations, and we wish you all the very best for the upcoming season. Ladies and gentlemen, the all-important draw will take place now. Feast your eyes on the stage, because this is the moment that you'll be witnessing as to which team competes with another. The first will be drawn by the president himself, Mr. Anura De Silva. He'll be drawing for us 5. Let's find out and see who will be based on Team A, and then Group B will be done by the General Secretary of the Football Federation of Sri Lanka. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, Super League 2021. All over to you. Renowned Sports Club, Team A. Upcountry Lions for you, ladies and gentlemen, Team B. Ratnam Sports Club for you, ladies and gentlemen. Team B. Seahawks for you, ladies and gentlemen. Can I invite Mr. PGP Pires to please join us on stage to draw for us the rest of the draws? And we'd like to invite Mr. M.M. Ramis, the Executive Committee member, to join us on stage to draw for us. And that is Blue Star, ladies and gentlemen. New Youngs, congratulations. New Youngs Football Club. A team, yes. Congratulations, Defenders Football Club. Colombo Football Club, congratulations. Red Star, congratulations. Red Star, yours. Red Star Football Club. And congratulations, Blue Eagles Sports Club, you are there as well. That's a roundup of the teams. Thank you to the gentlemen who joined us in terms of the draw. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to invite the President as well as the General Secretary to take their place on stage as we like to open for the Q&A session. Yes, we'll be moving that very soon, momentarily. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Mike, can you have
Yes, sir.
Isul mic එකක් දෙන්න මේ.
There is Group A and B. Can you just elaborate how the matches will be played?
Okay, the pre-season preparatory games, each group will play with each other. A group will play with A group teams and B group will play with B group teams. So 4 games to each of them.
Then what happens?
Sorry?
After 4 games?
That's it, yes.
Will there be any restriction for the substitutes, or you all are giving more substitutes because this is going to be a preparation tournament?
We will, since this is a professional football tournament, we will go with latest substitution by FIFA's laws of the game, which is 5 substitute at 3 occasions. That's the new law. So we will follow 5 substitute rules, which is in practice for FIFA games.
මෙම තරඟාවලිය ලබන ජූලි මාසයේ වෙනකන් පැවැත්වෙන තරඟාවලියක්. එතකොට ඒ අතරතුර ඔබතුමාලගේ පාලන සමය මැයි 31 වෙනිදා අවසන් වෙනවා. එතකොට එයින් පසුව මේ තරඟාවලිය පැවැත්වීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් කියන්නේ ඔබතුමාලගේ පාලනය වෙනස් වුණොත් මේ තරඟාවලිය පැවැත්ම කොහොමද සහතික කරන්නේ? ඊළඟ කාරණේ මේ කණ්ඩායම් 10ක් එකතු වෙලා මේ කරන තරඟාවලිය අතරතුර මේ වසරට නියමිත දේශීය තරඟාවලි වල පැවැත්ම මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? ඒක ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් ශූරයන්ගේ තරඟාවලිය, FA කුසලාන තරඟාවලිය ඒවා කොහොමද කෙරෙන්නේ?
පළමුව අපි මේ තරඟාවලිය සහ තරඟාවලිය සියල්ලක්ම සංවිධානය කරලා පවත්වනු ලබන්නේ පාපන්දු සම්මේලනය විසින්. එම නිසා පාපන්දු සම්මේලනයේ නිලතල වලට කාර්යපත් උනත් අපි මේ යම්කිසි වැඩසටහනක් දියත් කර පසු එම වැඩසටහන අවසන් විය යුතුයි. ඒකේ වගකීම යන්නේ අපි ගොඩාක්ම නිලධාරීන්ට නොවේ. අපේ කාර්ය මණ්ඩලය තමයි එම වගකීම් බාර අරගෙන එම කාර්යය කරගෙන යන්නේ. එම නිසා නිලවරණය පැවැත්වීමත් පුද්ගලයා මාරු වීමත් මම හිතන්නේ කිසිසේත්ම මේම කාර්යයට බලපායි කියලා. ඊට අමතරව ඔබ අසු අනිත් තරඟාවලි පිළිබඳව අතර මේ වෙනකොට අපි ඒ පිළිබඳ සැලැස්මක් යොදාගෙන තිනවා. අපි මේ මාස ලබන සෙනසුරාදා 13 වෙනිදා අපගේ විධායක සභා රැස්වීමක් පැවැත්වෙනවා. මේ සියලු කටයුතු වෙනුවෙන් අනුමත කර ගැනීම සඳහා ඒ සඳහා විශේෂයෙන්ම මෙම තරඟාවලි වල ප්‍රාග්ධානය ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියනවා ඇස්තමේන්තු ඒ වගේම තරඟාවලි පැවැත්වීමේ කාල සීමාවන් ඒ වගේම ක්‍රීඩකයන් ලියාපදිංචි කිරීමේ කාල සීමාවන් යන සියලුම අංශයන් වෙත අපි මේ වෙනකොටත් සටහන් සූදානම් කරලා අවසానයි. මේ සටහන් ඊට පස්සේ අවසාන තීරණයකට යොමු කරලා ඒවා ඉන්පසු එම කාල සටහන අනුව පවත්වාගෙන යමින් තමයි තියෙන්නේ.
Now you all said two matches, you'll be playing matches on Saturdays and Sundays. What is the venue will be Sugadasa Stadium or Race Course? And the other thing is what time is the kick-off time?
Okay, as we discussed and we announced, all the games will be closed doors, no fans. So we will play all the games at Sugadasa Stadium, both the pre-season preparatory and also the original season in April will be at one venue, Sugadasa venue, for various reasons. And the kickoff time we have scheduled at 5 p.m. the first game and 8 p.m. the second game, because we want people to watch live. I know there is a bit of a concern on the media, right? But essentially you can take.
Okay, now you say you are having the tournament closed doors. So why are you fixing the second match at 8 o'clock? There is no spectator interest. So why is the delay? So you can advance it now.
We wanted to.
No, because you know.
The idea behind this is to create digital viewership. Maybe we will eventually go into TV also. So we wanted to get a bit bigger crowd since it's closed. People who are at home, maybe at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We want people to watch from at home. So that's the whole scenario that we want to build up, because if you look at our lifestyle, the daytime the viewership is very low. So this is the reason that we are taking to 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., keeping some reserve days also.
But print media will be having issue. We have deadlines to meet. So especially on a Saturday. Sunday, of course, no issue. But Saturday, there will be an issue.
So let's see how we can tackle this. මේ කික් ඔෆ් වෙලා උත්තරේද?
Tournament day.
හරි. ඔව් සිංහලයේ උත්තර දෙන්න පුළුවන්. සුවදාස ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ තමයි සියලු තරංගාවල් නැත්නම් සූදානම් කටයුතු ඔක්කොම සිදු වෙන්නේ පෙබ්‍රවාරි මාසේ 17 වෙනිදා සිට හවස 5ට සහ හවස 8ට තමයි මේ ප්‍රාථමික නැත්නම් පුහුණු තරංගාවලියල් ආරම්භ වෙන්න නියමිත වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. සහභාගී වන කණ්ඩායම් අපි දැනටමත් අඳුරලා දීලා හමාරයි. බ්ලූ ස්ටාර් කණ්ඩායම බේරුවලින් සහ පානදුරෙන් රෙඩ් ස්ටාර් කණ්ඩායම, කොළඹෙන් කොළඹු FC කණ්ඩායම, රත්නම් කණ්ඩායම, රිනෝන් කණ්ඩායම, ඒ සමගම ඩිෆෙන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායම, සීහොක්ස් කණ්ඩායම, බ්ලූ ඊගල්ස් කණ්ඩායම, ඒ අමතරව නාවලපිටියෙන් අප්කන්ට්‍රි කණ්ඩායම සහ වෙන්නපුවෙන් නිව් යොන්ග්ස් කණ්ඩායම. ඒ තමයි මේක සහභාගී වෙන කණ්ඩායම් 10.
කොවිඩ් තමයි අපිට තියෙන ප්‍රධානම චැලෙන්ජ් එක. නමුත් අපි ක්‍රීඩා අමාත්‍යාංශයත් ඒ වගේම සෞඛ්‍ය අංශයත් අපිට අනුමත කරලා තියෙන ක්‍රමවේදයන් යටතේ අපි මේ තරංගාවලිය පවත්වාගෙන යනවා. තරංගාවලියට පෙර සෑම ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්ම සෑම නිලධාරියෙක්ම සානිකුත් ක්‍රීඩාංගණයට අවතීර්ණ වන සියලුම දෙනා PCR පරීක්ෂණ වලට භාජනය වෙලා තමයි ඔවුන් PCR නෙගටිව් නම් තමයි තරංගාවලියට මේ ක්‍රීඩාංගණයට ඇතුළු වන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ක්‍රමවේදය දිගටම අපි පවත්වාගෙන යනවා. ඊට අමතරව රැපිඩ් ඇන්ටිජන් ටෙස්ට් කියන ක්‍රමවේදයත් අනුගමනය කරනවා. ඒ වගේම අපි සියලු දෙනාටම මේ වෙනකොටත් කණ්ඩායම් වලට දැනුවත් කරලා තියෙනවා මේ සෞඛ්‍ය ක්‍රමවේදයන් යටතේ තමන්ගේ කණ්ඩායම නිසියාකාරයෙන් කළමනාකරණය කරගෙන මෙම තරංගාවලියට සහභාගී වෙන්න කියලා. මොකද අපිට කිසියවරකින් ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අනිශ්චිත භාවය පවත්වා ගන්න බැරි නිසා. ඒ වගේම අපි අනිකුත් ක්‍රීඩාංගන තුලත් ඒ අවශ්‍ය විධිවිධාන අනුව තමයි මෙම තරඟාවලියට ප්‍රවිෂ්ඨ වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපි දකින්නේ නැහැ කිසිම විදිහකින් මේකට යම් කිසි බලපෑමක් ඇති වෙයි කියලා ක්‍රීඩාංගණය තුලදී. නමුත් යම් කිසි හේකින් යම් කිසි ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් PCR ටෙස්ට් එකක් මගින් පොසිටිව් වුණොත්, ඒ වුණ රෝගියෙක් බවට නිර්දේශ වුණොත් එම ක්‍රීඩකයාව අපි කාල සීමාවකට අයින් කරනවා. එම කණ්ඩායමෙම නැවත වරක් ක්‍රීඩකයන් 3 දෙනෙකුට වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් 3 දෙනෙක් සහ වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් PCR පරීක්ෂණයෙන් අසමත් වුණොත් එම කණ්ඩායම තරඟාවලියෙන් తాවකාලිකව ඉවත් වෙන්න වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක අපි එම නිසා සියලුම ක්‍රීඩා සමාජවලට දැනුවත් කරලා තිනවා. ඒ සෞඛ්‍ය විධිවිධාන සියාකාරයෙන් පවත්වාගෙන තමන්ගේ කණ්ඩායම ඒ අවශ්‍ය සෞඛ්‍ය ප්‍රතිපාදන යටතේ ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න කියලා.
Yeah, I'm Nawod from the popre.com. I just want to know now, since it's closed doors, how's the access for media and what's the accommodation for media?
We have done different planning for the stadium into different zones. So players will be isolated and enter through a different zone, maybe like example zone A, and some official will come on zone B and zone Z and zone D. So media will be given limited access because we know we will not entertain all the medias coming around, but we know the media who are coming and supporting football continuously. We will have a system of accrediting them, allowing them, but you will come through a different entrance and different zone, cover and then go back without mingling around with other people, protecting the players, protecting the officials, and also protecting you. So we will have some plan, somewhat different to what you are normally doing for football games in Suvidha Stadium.
Just one question again. Now, this tournament will be under the competitions department of the federation, or how will that be? Because there was a question in Sinhala because with the elections coming up and all those stuff, so this will be under the competitions department, is it?
We have set up a Super League subcommittee, which consists of president, myself, and 3 other members. This is the committee which will overlook the Super League regulations and guidelines. It will be like another kind of an entity, and also we are setting up in the process of setting up a separate Super League department which will exclusively handle the Super League operation because it's a continuous effort.
Okay, so nothing to do with the elections, the people who will be under.
No.
Okay, thanks.
නාමල් පත්‍රිකේ මාත්‍ය ආපු ප්‍රශ්නට මම දෙන පිළිතුර හම්බුණා සභාපතිතුමාගෙන් තව එකක් ඇතුල් කරන්න කැමැති. පාපන්දු සම්මේලනයේ අපේ නිල කාලයේ අවසන් වුවත් සාමාන්‍ය පරිදි පාපන්දු පරිපාලනයේ ඡන්දෙන් නැත්නම් නිලවරණයෙන් පත් වෙලා ඉන්න අපි සාමාන්‍ය ක්‍රමවේද සහ ප්‍රතිපත්ති තමයි සකස් කරන්නේ. මූල්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්ති නැත්නම් කම්පිටිෂන්ස් ආදී වශයෙන් අපි නැති වුණත් තව කවුරුරපත් වෙනවා. හැබැයි අපේ ගත්ත තීන්දුව ඔක්කොම විධායක සභාවෙන් අනුමත වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම කවුන්සිල් එක අපේ සමාජිකයන් හරහා අනුමත වෙනවා. ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ ඉන්න සේවකයන් වශයෙන්. එතකොට අපි නැති වුණත් සේවකයෝ දෙපාර්තමේන්තු වලින් මේක සාර්ථකව ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්න හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා.
Sorry, sir. Yeah.
Can you give
Sorry,
the mic
yes.
to them?
We will, there is no, now as we say, this is a preparatory period. We don't want to call a competition. We don't want to call this as like a big competitive games. This is a period to adhere to the health guidelines. So with this learning, there is no curtain raisers, there is no prizes and all that. So we will give you a schedule by tomorrow by email to all the media. So you will know the fixtures of Group A and Group B. But importantly, we will adhere to guidelines. All the regulations are issued by health authorities. School games are starting. The practices are starting with health guidelines. So we will 100% adhere to all the health guidelines issued by the government of Sri Lanka.
So this Super League tournament will be the first professional football tournament in Sri Lanka. So can we know the clear criteria about the transfer window between the clubs? Because there will be DCL and Division 1, Division 2 tournaments. So Super League will be the first tournament. So can we know the clear criteria about the transfer windows?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. The
Transfer window criteria, yeah.
Okay, we have 2 transfer windows each year, which is starting from 1st of January to 28th February is a normal window. This is not only for Super League, for all the clubs in Sri Lanka, that's the first window. And then we have July 25th to August 25th, the second window.
July 1st
So-
to 31st July.
Sorry,
1st July to 31st July.
1st July to 31st July, sorry. 1st July to 31st July, correction. So that will be the second window. So any transfers, any registrations will have to go through these 2 windows for Super League, for Champion League, for Division 1 and all the clubs in Sri Lanka.
Yes, sir.
You have said about the estimate of the expenses, 150 million by the federation, and the other 150 might be coming out of the clubs. How much you all are expecting to give to the clubs for the preparation fees, and when it comes to the main tournament, Super League? And the other point is, I heard that you all have given a proposal to the FIFA about getting some grants for this tournament, and already you all have got 100,000 on that about 2 years back. So how it goes now, and is AFC supporting you all for this tournament?
Okay, let me explain. This actually we wrote to FIFA as a special project to promote football in the country. So that is how we wrote to FIFA, indicating to them that we want to launch a professional league and transform football into a professional level. So with that, under these FIFA's project regulations, so we qualified to receive $500,000 to establish this professional league. That 500,000 will be given for 2 seasons, in fact, actually. So if you divide into 2, it is $250,000 per season. So with that, we made the application and it was approved. So then we worked on the, arithmetic and other preparations. So then at the initial stage, FIFA released $100,000 for the preparatory work. So with that, now we have 100,000 in our bank. We have spent some money. We received 100,000. So on top of that, now we have to submit the whole project proposal to FIFA and get the balance money. So as you inquired, with this season, so there is a projected estimate of nearly 150 million Sri Lankan rupees. So with that, if you divide in $250,000, there is a deficit we have to cover. So on top of that, there is another grant from FIFA we can use if we run a top tier league. We qualify for another $50,000 grant from FIFA. So we can include that also into this budget. Then apart from that, we have to find sponsors, but at the moment it is a difficult task with the COVID situation. So we have to use some other funds from the Football Federation to fund this tournament and get this going. The worst situation is, in fact, when we did the budgeting, the biggest one portion of biggest expenses are for these health regulations. To be in health guidelines, to be in health regulations, so we have to spend a huge amount. but it's unavoidable. We have to meet those expenses and move forward. So that is that. Apart from that, AFC, there is no special grant to use this, their funds for the Pro League, unless we are internally, we must find a way to get some money from AFC if there is a, provision to work out that. And then we must submit another proposal to AFC and inform that we may use some funds from AFC. Otherwise, all the money what we receive from FIFA and AFC are under strict compliances, and we have to follow the financial regulations imposed by both FIFA and AFC, and they audit us on an annual basis on our transactions and how we have used the money. For the clubs, of course, now initially we have released 1 million for the clubs to prepare themselves. So apart from that, we hope to release another 2 million for the clubs during the season. So, and at the beginning, with the discussions with the club, we also have informed the clubs. The clubs also must be able to invest around 5 to 7 million to run a club, because what we want is to transform everything into a professional, especially to look after the players. So what we need is to see that ultimately the players become full-time professional players. So if we are to do that, the players must have a proper contract with the club, and that the club must oblige with the contract and look after the players and coaches as well. Because if we don't have good coaches, professional coaches, so we are losing the trend. So that's the whole, we want that. So we'll get 3 million. We are working on whether we can give more. So that is up to us internally, see how we can meet and bridge what we can. Even if we can do more than that, we will definitely do.
Andre,
Yes.
Honorable Sports Minister yesterday announced in the Parliament he has great plans for football for 5 years. Right? Right now it's at more or less at low ebb. So what, as a Football Federation President, what are your plans to get on board with him?
We are most delighted, first of all, having a sports minister in that nature. So we very much thankful to the Honorable Minister for his vision, especially for football. And we as the whole organization, we are happy that he is playing football. So he's a playing member of a club now, so the Honorable Minister. So he knows, so I think he's having the pulse of football also now. So we very much, grateful to him, and a great gratitude to him for his vision to develop football within next 5 years. Of course, when we met the Honorable Minister few occasions, so he also elaborated what his plans for football. One is now, apart from this professional league what we are launching today, so he also wants to launch another professional league at district level. So we wholeheartedly support that project, because it must be a project in that nature. So now I think we are in the right platform. The government is supporting our sport. So, and especially the main factor what we emphasize is that we need good, reliable playgrounds, playing fields for the, regional level clubs. So gradual to see that at district level, Honorable Minister wants to establish a pro league or a franchise system tournament at district level, and to select players within the district and to make a district squad. So every district will have a squad on their own, so we can eventually be the next professional platform in the country. So it's a very good thing, because when we have 25 or 26 districts, so we will have 25, 26 teams playing in another professional platform just below our Super League. So we will have more players playing at professional level. So that's an opportunity for coaches to be professional at that level. So I think it's the right track to, I think we are in the right track, and we are moving forward, and the results will come in few years' time.
Yeah, just actually, Minister didn't forget the, leisure players. He was talking about Friday football. Can you please elaborate a little bit? It is also football.
I also watched that, and I also hear there is kind of a social fun football is going to start. But let's see. I mean, as a federation, as people that we are here to support any football initiative by anybody. So we will, as President said, we are very thankful to him, and we are very happy that he is supporting in Parliament, outside Parliament, in every areas he can to uplift football. We will support in whatever way we can to uplift that. And also, Sharon, I think we have 3 young journalists. We will give some.
Absolutely. Let me take a minute to quickly announce Renown Academy's 5 young journalists participated in the Football for Friendship International Children's Social Program implemented by Gazprom. The program includes a number of sports and educational events held in different countries around the globe with the aim of promoting a healthy and active lifestyle, as well as fostering an attitude of respect towards other cultures among its young participants. The 5 young journalists of Renown Academy had the highest marks, along with 3 other international young journalists. Can I invite you to please rise from your seats? Let's give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first time in the history that 3 young journalists are participating in the football press conference in Sri Lanka. We'd like to encourage them, show our enthusiasm. Thank you. Continue that passion that you have started. We certainly hope your parents would encourage it as well. But once again, let's give them a round of applause, everybody, for their tremendous effort.
They have, I think, perhaps they want to ask some questions.
They have a few questions to ask. Go ahead. Shoot.
Greetings. My question is President Mr. Anwar De Silva. As per AFC club license, criteria all clubs should have a youth team. Could you elaborate more on this, please?
In fact, so if we are to move in the professional platform in football, so that is a criteria not in the AFC, even in the global level. All the professional clubs have a structure. They should have a structure. So that structure should have these, the A team, B team, their youth team, their junior programs, and their grassroots programs. So that is how, if you, look into a professional club in top level in the world, so they have that ladder. You start ladder and go up. So eventually we want to move there. So even just before coming to this press conference, we had a meeting with the clubs, the Pro League's 10 clubs in our Football Federation auditorium. So there also we were discussing, and even in fact, the question came from the club when we are going to play the U20 tournament for these 10 clubs. So so we have we are focusing on that. So, and the clubs also focusing on that. That's a very good, initiative from the clubs as well as from everyone. And so we already, with the club licensing criteria, so they need to have a youth academy and these U20 teams. So it is up to the federation to organize the U20 tournament and keep the ladder moving. So you have the senior team and you have the under 20. So then we'll gradually try to establish the other things to make the club more professional, structured club, and to look for the future.
Yes, can we pass the microphone to the young lady? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm Rashid Asif from Renowned Media Cubs. My first question is to General Secretary. How can Super League contribute to the development of football at the grassroots and junior level?
Okay, thank you, Rashid. Before I answer, I just want to elaborate. These three kids have participated a program called Football for Friendship soon after Russian World Cup by FIFA, a great initiative. And they have participated with other countries' kids, and eventually they became the highest scorers representing Sri Lanka to be this young, promising journalist. That's the history. So it's an ongoing program. They have been trained to become a professional journalist, and some people are trained in different areas. So thank you for taking Sri Lankan name, Rashid, and I forgot your two names. So congratulations, and we warmly welcome you also. Answering to the question, Super League is a professional structure where from grassroots to professional level, all the aspects are being covered and addressed. For example, now when we give the license to the Super League Year 1, the current season, we ask all these clubs to have a mandatory under 18 team. So actually, we want to have 2 teams to have the license, but because our clubs are moving from amateur to professional, we started with 1 club. And then 2023, we will ask the club, if you want to play in Super League, if you want to get the license, you will have to have another age group, maybe under 14 or 15 or whatever it is too. And then we, as I discuss about the Super League, we have a 5-year roadmap for Football Federation and also for the Super League clubs, how we transform into a professional club. So within this 5-year, there is a grassroots charter, grassroots academy, which each club need to fulfill if they want to be in Super League and play for Super League. So which means they will have to find and train youth kids in a professional manner. Eventually they will become professional players to the Super League. So that's one aspect of the setup. If you look at other side of the coin, now when these players are playing in the professional league, watched on TV and watched on social media, all these platforms, people like you all youth, grassroots guys will always stimulate the players, and they get attracted to football, and they want to become like a stars. They will always stimulate, and they'll also follow some of these national players and foreign players and so on. So there is much more interest will come to these grassroots guys, the kids, who will take up more and more to professional football. On the other hand, parents also now have a target, a vision. If you put my kid, send my kid to football, I have a place to achieve. I have a Super League where my kid can play, which was not there earlier. This is what happened to cricket. When cricket won World Cup, all the mothers, fathers, they took their kids to play cricket because they know what is the end goal, where they can go. But now likewise, for football also we have a vision, they have a Super League, they can earn money, they can be famous, so that kids will now start moving to towards football. So that's the impact for grassroots through Super League.
And
I hope.
can we pass the microphone
Thank
to
you, General
the
Secretary, sir.
Thank you.
young lady, please?
I'm Ilavernal Senthilkumar from Renowned Media Clubs. My question is to the General Secretary. Good evening, sir. Do you have any plans to develop women's football in Sri Lanka?
Very good question. Sri Lankan population, we are about 52% female out of the 22 million. So yes, we are a country where we have achieved some medals and some achievements through football, through women in sports. So women's football is one of the mandatory requirements by FIFA to develop. There is a special area, there is a special fund, there is a special program. So definitely we have already started some negotiation, planning, the structure in the beginning of 2021. Yes, we will have more kids like y'all, girls, women league, one fine day we'll also see a Women's Super League also in the country. So we have plans.
Thank you for that promise, sir. Yes, one final question
final
before
question.
we wind up.
Yeah, Andra, now all these hard work, the end result is the national team. Now, what is the situation of the team? We all had 2 camps. Where do we stand? And I heard the World Cup, some qualifying matches have been postponed. So what is the present plight? Can you briefly explain what is the present plight of the national side?
So let me explain again. I think few days back, the AFC, though it's a FIFA World Cup qualifying round matches, our matches are conducted and organized and conducted by the Asian Football Confederation, the AFC. So AFC wrote to us few days back for us to confirm them back, indicating what are the barriers we have with the COVID-19 situation. That is not only for us, that they wrote to all the participating countries in Asia. For example, we had a match scheduled for March 25th with DPR Korea. So even before everyone, DPR Korea wrote to AFC and said that there are no way in hosting the match in North Korea because they cannot predict anything with the country's situation. So that match is indefinitely postponed to June. Then apart from that, we also internally had an evaluation of what the current situation with the pandemic, the regulations, how the teams can come, how the teams can stay for 14 days quarantine and play a match, and with all that, so we are also had a concern, but so far we are not written to AFC about it. But from our other next, opponent, that is South Korea. So I think South Korea also have a concern about the situation. So South Korea, in my feeling, South Korea also will write to AFC and say that they are not in a position to play the match on 30th March or 31st of March. Even South Korea's, the first match, which were to play in South Korea against Turkmenistan, is postponed. So most of the matches which were scheduled on March 25th and 30th March are definitely postponed to June. So in June, hopefully we will have to play all these matches in a centralized location. It can be either in Qatar or maybe in Malaysia or somewhere. We are yet to know that, but we must be prepared to play 3 matches in a row at a centralized venue. So that is the latest situation with FIFA World Cup.
This is not a question but a request, President. මෙතන අපේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නායකයා ඉන්නවා country alliance නායකයා සුජාන් පෙරරා. එයාගෙන් මේ ක්‍රීඩා සමාජ සම්බන්ධව සහ ක්‍රීඩා ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා වෙනුවෙන් මේ තරඟාවලිය සම්බන්ධව එයාගේ අදහසක් අපි දැනගන්නට කැමති කරුණා කරලා ඒකට අවසර දෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා.
මම ආරාධනා කරනවා
සුපර් ලීග් සම්බන්ධවනේ. සුජාන් ඉන්නව නේද?
සුජාන් ඉන්නවද? නමුත් මේක මේ සුජාන් මෙතනට එන්න.
මයික් එකක් දෙන්න.
General Secretary, before that, I am adding to my previous question. ඔබතුමා transfer window ගැන ප්‍රශ්න අහද්දී මේ date එක විතරයි කිව්වේ. අපිට clear විදියට පැහැදිලි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කොහමද local players ලා ඉන්නවා, foreign players ලා ඉන්නවා, ඒගොල්ලොන්ව transfer කරද්දී කොහමද සීමාවක් තියනවද වෙන club එකට? DCL Super League අතර මොනවා හරි අලුත් ක්‍රමවේද අලුතෙන් හඳුන්වලා තියෙනවද? because අපි clubs වල ඇහුවම අපිට මේ clubs වලින් කිව්වේ අපිට ලිඛිතව මොකුත් කියලා නැහැ කියලා තමයි. In right, this is professional league, no? So federation should be give in right, no?
Okay. Transfer window, registration window වල සිදුවෙන්නේ ක්‍රීඩකයන් ලියාපදිංචි කිරීමේ කටයුතු. එතකොට ඒක foreign player කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, local player කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Super League සඳහා අපි අවස්ථාව දීලා තියෙනවා විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයන් 4 දෙනෙකුට රෙජිස්ටර් කරන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ 3 දෙනයි ආසියානු විදේශකට අපි 3+1 කියලා කියන්නේ 3 foreigners and 1 Asian player. ඒතර හතරකට අවස්ථාවක් ලැබලා දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම සුපර් ලීග් එකට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය කරුණක් තමයි 20න් පහළ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ 3 දෙනෙක් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම රෙජිස්ටර් කර යුතුයි. ඒ වගේම එක ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් විනාඩි 90ම තරඟ කරන්න සිදු වෙනවා. ඒකත් විශේෂ සඳහනක් රෙගියුලාසි වල මේ සියලුම දේවල් අපි ක්ලබ් වලට ලිඛිතව ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන්ස් වල අපි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි රෙගියුලේෂන් විතරයි තාම දුන්නේ නැත්තේ. මේ සාකච්ඡාවෙන් පස්සේ තමයි අද තිබුණු සාකච්ඡාවෙන් පස්සේ තමයි මේ අන්තිම රෙගියුලේෂන් එක ලබා දෙන්නේ. දින වකවානුව ඔක්කොම ආරම්භ කරන්න. ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර් කියලා කියන්නේ එකක් ඇවිල්ලා රෙජිස්ට්‍රේෂන් අනිත් එක ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්. ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර් කියන්නේ ක්ලබ් A එකේ ඉඳන් ක්ලබ් B එකට ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර් වෙනවා නම් කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එකක් නැත්නම් කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒ කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එක අනුකූලව ඒගොල්ලන්ට ක්ලබ් A ඉඳන් ක්ලබ් B එකට යන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මේ දින වකවානුවේ ඇතුලේ පමණයි.
Sujant, Vinadiak, General Secretary, when you have like the transfer window, we are talking about loan players. There are a lot of good players in the DCL in Division 1 where the Super League clubs will look into take them during the Super League. Are you going to allow them to come on loan, play and go back to DCL, or is has to be a contracted player where because they're going to make use of all the good players to come and play and they're going to go back and play in DCL or Division 1? How the loan system is going to work? Are you going to allow the loaning players?
One of the primary aspect when we gave club licensing to these clubs is while we are giving these 10 clubs, we wanted to protect the other 7 clubs or whatever the remaining clubs also. So we don't want all the best players to be taken by these 10 clubs and then the other clubs, subsequently falls down. So we wanted to protect them. So therefore, for this year, we have taken a decision. There is no loan players allowed from DCL club until we regulate and push them other club also into one platform. However, we are allowing 4 loan players to come and play beyond DCL clubs, limited to 4. However, they can transfer to their own clubs on the second window, which is from 1st July to 31st July. If by any chance Division 1 is started before July, they cannot play parallelly in both leagues. So that's the general rules. This is the general rule in FIFA also. So this is what we are really following. So answer to your question is DCL, we are protecting those clubs for this year, but we will find some good mechanism next year how to support the other clubs and this club as well.
Mr. Secretary, now my question is now, you all said there are 18 teams who requested to come into the Super League. Now 8 teams have been left off. What are the teams? And the other thing is, what are you going to do about these 8 teams for the future Super 2 leagues? And the other thing is, now when requiring for the main Super League proper, how many foreign players are allowed? Have they already signed? Is the question. Now at the moment, all these teams having foreign players, how many are there? So those are the things that has to be highlighted with this. Because sometimes if they want to get out of these people, and there's another thing, now there are, out of these 10 teams, few teams are from Colombo. Then all 3 services are involved. Now, are there any teams applied from north and east and other parts of the country? What is this?
Okay, before I answer your question, I think there was a question. Sujanta තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න මේ ගැන කරුණු මේ සුපර් ලීග් සම්බන්ධව මම හිතන්නේ සුජාන්ට අවස්ථාව ලැබලා දුන්නා. ඊට පස්සේ මම ආන්සර් කරන්න.
ඔයාගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ආයෙ ආවන හරි.
මේ ගැන මේ සුපර් ලීග් ගැන
I'm asking about the Super League.
ඇත්තටම ඒ කියන්නේ සුපර් ලීග් එක කියන්නේ රටකට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය දෙයක්. ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් වුණාම වෘත්තිමය ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ මුලින්ම. ඒ කියන්නේ පවුලේ ප්‍රශ්න ඒ දේවල් හැම දෙයක්ම අමතක කරලා ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකට ආවම සෙල්ලම් කරන්න පුළුවන් හොඳ මානසික මට්ටමක් තියෙන මුල්ම දේ. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ සුපර් ලීග් එකේ දැක්ම ඒ විෂන් එක අවුරුදු 3ක් 4ක් විතර වෙද්දී ජාතික කණ්ඩායමට ඍජුවම බලපානවා. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා නවක ක්‍රීඩකයන් ඒ වගේම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් ප්ලේයර්ලා ඒ වගේම කෝච්ලත් ලොකු ලේසි තෝරගන්න ප්ලේයර්ලා කොහොමද සෙල්ලම් කරන්නේ ඒ වගේම කණ්ඩායම් 10ත් වෘත්තීමය කණ්ඩායම් මම මාලදිවයිනේ ඉඳන් ලංකාවට ඇවිල්ලා සුපර් ලීග් එක සෙල්ලම් කරන්න සම්බන්ධ වුණෙත් මම හිතනවා මේ වැඩසටහනට රටක් හැටියට අපේ උපරිම දායකත්වයක් ලබා දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා ඒ වගේම වසීම් රසික් තව ගොඩක් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ විශේෂ නම් තියෙන ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ගොඩක් රාශියක් එකතු වෙන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා කියලා මම හිතනවා. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ලංකාවට හොඳ ආරම්භයක් ගන්න පුළුවන් හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් මේක. මම හිතනවා මේක හොඳ සාර්ථක ගමනක් යන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, answering to your question. සිංහලෙන් කියන්නද ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කියන්නද? හරි. Okay. විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ මම කලින් කිව්වා පරිදි 4 දෙනෙක් අපි අනුමත කරනවා ඕනම රටක 3කුයි ආසියානු රට 46 47 එක ක්‍රීඩකයෝයි රෙජිස්ටර් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. දැනටමත් ඇත්තටම සුජන් කිව්වා වගේ අපි සතුටුයි සුපර් ලීගයේ හරහා අවුරුදු ගාණක් ලංකාවෙන් පිටට ගිහිල්ලා මාලදීවයිනේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් ෆුට්බෝල් ගාපු සුජාන් වගේ ක්‍රීඩකයෝගේ නැවත ගෙන්නන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව වුණේ සුපර් ලීග් සඳහා. ඒක ඇත්තටම අපි ආඩම්බරයක්. ඒ වගේම තමයි ඔබ දන්නා වසීම් රාසික් අපේ ජාතික කණ්ඩායම ක්‍රීඩකයා ජර්මනියේ සෙල්ලම් කරපු ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්ව ජර්මනියෙන් ඉඳන් ලංකාවේ සුපර් ලීග් එකට ගියන්න පුළුවන් කමකුත් තිබුණේ මේ ආඩම්බරයෙන් කියන්න ඕනේ මේ තරඟාවලිය සඳහා. ඒ වගේම තමයි දැනටමත් සීහොක්ස් කණ්ඩායමට ජපානයේ පුහුණුකරුවෙක් සහ ජපානයේ ක්‍රීඩක 3 දෙනෙක් පැමිණිලා ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම යුරෝපා රටවල් වලින් තව 6 දෙනෙක් පමණ තවත් ක්‍රීඩා කණ්ඩායම් වලට එන්න සූදානම්ෙන් ඉන්නවා. සමහර කට්ටිය හෙට අනිද්දා වෙනකොට එයි. ඒ වගේම තමයි තව කැමරූන් අයිවරි කෝස්ට් ඒ වගේ රාජ්‍යවල උනොත් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ පැමිණෙන්න නියමිතයි. එතන ඒකෙන් අපි සඳහන් කරන්නේ මේ ක්‍රීඩාවේ නැත්නම් සුපර් ලීග් එකේ වටිනාකම සහ ක්වොලිටි එක හොඳ මට්ටමේ පවත්වාගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. මට පවලේ දෙවෙනි තව ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහුවා ඔබතුමා. ප්‍රශ්න 3ක් අහුවා. You asked 3 questions, right? What is it?
Yeah. Why did you all, how many teams are, say, 8 teams are left out now? What are the teams?
Okay, the teams I will not
and
repeat.
And on what basis these were?
Yeah, I will not repeat the team again because we have already announced and we will give you
So
the
I'll
list
be
of the
mentioning
teams.
that again. I'll be
Yes,
mentioning.
it's in the out the what do you call the dockets we gave.
Yeah.
The question about North and East. Now, when you set up a professional league, there is a system of promotion and relegation. That's the principle of a structured league. So if you want to go to a upper tier league, you need to qualify by playing in sporting merit. So the teams from North and East, they have not qualified to the DCL, Champion League yet. We have about 2 or 3 teams in Division 1. They have to first come to Champion League and then to qualify. So there is a road, there is a step ahead for those teams. But eventually, when we started this, eventually there will be big competitions among these teams. One fine day you will see northern teams and eastern teams and will come and play by sporting merits. This is not an invitation. They have to qualify and come.
Are you going to give them any support to come up the standards?
As
you have made any arrangements?
We will
them to come up in their life.
We will support all the non-Super League clubs to the maximum level we can to bring them up to the Super League level. That's the only way that we can challenge these 10 teams so to build, take this everybody's level forward. So yes, we will support in every way, financially, technically, competition, every way. We have a plan to bring them also to a better level.
Thank you for your questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Can
And
I just
now,
ask one small question?
Could you give me-
Yeah. Players level දැන් national team එකේ තින්නා coach කියලා තියෙනවා camps ටික continue කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවා කියලා කොහොමද මේ camps වලින් දැන් coach කියලා තියෙනවා camps continue කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා කියලා clubs වලට players level release වෙනවද ඒ පිළිබඳ පොඩි පැහැදිලි කිරීමක් කරමු.
හොඳ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නවොත් මේ තරංගාවලිය පවත්වන්නේ සතිය අන්තරයේ කියන්නේ සෙනසුරාදා ඉරිදා ඊළඟ තරඟ තියෙන්නේ සෙනසුරාදා ඉරිදා ඒ අතරේ සෑම ජාතික කණ්ඩායමේ ක්‍රීඩකයෝම සතියන්ති තරංගාව ඉවරන වහාම නැෂනල් ඩියුටි එකට නැෂනල් කැම්ප් එකට එනවා දවස් 3ක්. ඒතකොට දවස් 3ක් ඒගොල්ලෝ නැෂනල් ටීම් එකට ඊතුරු දවස් 2ක් ක්ලබ් එකට ඊට පස්සේ මැච් එක 3 days to national team 2 days to clubs match again 2 days 3 days to the same rotation will go right throughout the pre-season and right throughout the competition.
thank you for your questions, ladies and gentlemen. And in conclusion, can I invite the Group A, Renown, Ratnam, Blue Star, Defenders and Red Star to join us on stage for a group photograph, together with Group B, Upcountry, Seahawks, New Youngs, Colombo Football Club, as well as Blue Eagles. Can I have this captain to join us on the left side of the stage to take part in the all-important group photograph? Ladies and gentlemen, with that we conclude the media launch. Thank you for joining us here today for the Super League media launch, as we kindly request all the captains to join us on stage for the group photograph. And until we see you next time on the 17th of February, it is at the Sukadasa Indoor Stadium. We're live and ready to kick off the event and certainly hope your support towards this endeavor will be much appreciated. To all the captains, once again, Group A on the right side, Group B on the left side.
මේ අපේ මාධ්‍ය මිත්‍රයන් පුළුවන් තරම් ඇවිල්ලා මේකේ සෙල්ෆීස් ගන්න මේවා ගන්න ඕගොල්ලන් සෝෂල් මීඩියා වලින් පෝස්ට් කරන්න ලස්සන බෑග්ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එක තියලා ෆොටෝස් ගන්න.
Group A on the right side, Group B on the left. Can I invite the President and the General Secretary to join at the center of the stage? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation here, and we wish you all the very best to all the teams.